看它信号怎么样，0.9兆。
这个怎么突然一下往下拉了？
它就这样动来动去的。等一下，我现在看一下那个频道上有没有那个。它叫啥名字
Founders here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent.
View channel.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Pitch and Connect for our official side event for Sushi Tech 2026. This is a huge, huge crowd. Thank you so much for coming. Woo! Yes. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. It's really my honor to put on these events each month. The whole purpose, I'll show you right now, is to give founders a safe space to practice their pitch and to energize the Tokyo startup ecosystem. This event I've been doing since November last year, both online and in person. So I hope to keep doing it around Japan to give founders a chance to pitch, right? A little bit about me. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pulsar Innovations. We're a startup support company, and we do events like this, where we bring people together to, work on their pitch, to get the skills to go global. And hopefully, towards the end, when you guys have the open networking, you can connect with the founders and some of our judges here, and yeah, make some new connections. So, please, for our judges, we have two amazing judges today. Both are investors. We have Ching Tran and then Ryuta Shibusawa. Can you guys please give a round of applause for them? Guys, could you say a little bit about yourselves? And yeah. Oh,
All right. Hello, everyone. So my name is Chin. I found 3P Ventures. It's a VC. We have an office in Japan and US. And right now, for the Japan office, we focus on investing in Japan startups. And in US, right now, I'm focusing on investing with Johns Hopkins Tech Venture. Hopefully, we'll bring in technologies from Johns Hopkins to Japan and have Japan investors invest in those companies in Johns Hopkins. And so it's sort of a bridge between US and Japan. So I look forward to meeting the founders and hopefully we can collaborate.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Ryuta Shibusawa. I'm an investor at Kibo Social Investment Fund. So we invest and provide hands-on support to companies which tackle social issues in Japan, outside Japan. So we cover a lot of different social issues like education, healthcare, local revitalization, a lot of issues. So if you have any interest in social issues, please approach to me. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, we have a missing microphone. A microphone thief in the house here. But yes, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for coming and giving your expertise for the founders today. Then yes, I want to give a quick shout out to Billy Q and the Creator Labo team. They're going to be doing the live stream for today and also taking some photos, so give a round of applause for them. Thank you so much, guys. They did a really great job in our last event in January. The live stream's still on there on our Pulsar Innovations YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out afterwards as well. And then, yes, we wouldn't be able to do this without our amazing volunteers. We have Jessie Su upstairs, as well as Heikin Wang from Smart Start Japan, who's going to say a few quick words. Yes, thank you so much.
Right. Thank you so much for everyone coming, and thank you for Lee for organizing the event. We really need more founders like this in Tokyo. And yeah, so we say we're a market entry company, but we are more than that. We can help you in 3 ways. So the first one is anything that's paperwork related. So company incorporation, corporate bank account, licenses for your company, business manager visa if you need one. We can also help you with the Smart Boost, and that covers loans, that includes JFC loans, subsidies, as well as angel investment. If you are looking for these services, let us know. And we also have our Smart Growth services, which covers things like digital marketing, advisory services, And if you need any interns or overseas staffs, let us know as well. We can help with that as well. And any digital marketing services within here in Tokyo as well, any local content localization needs, we can help with as well. So yeah, so smart starts, smart boosts, and smart growth services. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Awesome, guys. Yeah, these are the guys to talk to if you're looking to incorporate your business for sure. All right, so let's talk about the agenda really quickly. We just did the introduction, and we're going to get right into the founder pitches. Then we'll have some closing remarks and a group photo. It's going to be quite hard to do here, but we will do our best. And then open networking for about 50 minutes until 9 o'clock. This is a great chance for you to connect with everybody here. All right, so a few rules for Google for Startups that we need to mention. Number one, you all have name tags, yes? Please make sure you keep them on you. Do not take them home with you. There's a box at the end that you may have seen on the way in. Please make sure you deposit of the name tags before you leave. Very, very important. Do not take them out. If you need to use the bathroom, they're over there outside on this floor. So you need to go out and you need to scan your name tag to come back in. So please make sure you know where that is. And then, yes, if you brought some drinks or snacks and stuff, please make sure there's rubbish over there, and then I think maybe one other place, but yes, over there, okay? Awesome. And then, what's the format for Pitch and Connect? Each founder is going to get 5 minutes to pitch, okay? And what's different about this event is that I want all of the audience to ask the first question. You guys came here, you're going to be very interactive with the founders. So Haken's going to help me pass the microphone around to you so you can ask the founders questions. And then we'll pass it off to the judges, who will also give them feedback, as well as myself, which I will give them feedback on their storytelling and delivery skills. And then, yes, that's about it for that. The bell is the boss. Haken, can you show them? Yeah. Okay. Bell. Yes, 1 means there's 1 minute left, and time's up. I will stop you, okay? So please don't go over time, all right? We have to stay on time, especially when investors are here. Time is money, all right? Good. And then, yes, for the audience, please, please, please keep quiet while they're pitching. We want to be a respectful audience for them. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. It's very, very important. Haken will come and get the first person who raises their hand. And if you have a follow-up question, sometimes people like to say it very quickly, but save it for the open networking session, please, just so that this runs smoothly. And then, yes, of course, you might see some interesting ideas, some that are questionable. Please be respectful with all your comments and questions. Everyone agree to the rules? Yes? Fair? All right, good. Let's get started. Sound good? Awesome, man. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, the pitching order. Nico, your time is up, man. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. All right, come on up. Give a round of applause for Nico here.
Can I have the clicker?
Clicker here. Thank you. And then, okay, ready? 5 minutes, please. 5 minutes. All right, go. Okay.
Yep. Good evening. I'm Nico, founder of TabiMate. And tonight I want to talk about traveling. So, who of you here also enjoys traveling like me? Right, it's a common sense, I guess. And who of you has ever discovered an amazing place, but in the end you didn't go there? Okay, because this gap between interest and actually going, this is actually where TabiMate comes in. So throughout my travels, I often encountered the same structural problem, a problem that exists globally, but becomes very obvious in Japan. So in Japan, every year, millions of inbound travelers come here, and most of them then concentrate in a few major cities, while regional destinations remain overlooked. The problem here is not demand, it's conversion. That's what I claim. Many of these travelers actually, they want authentic experiences off the beaten path, but oftentimes they cannot act on this intent because these places are not visible or difficult to plan and access. So in the end, these travelers default to what they see and what feels safe. But that means that travel demand is not reaching these regional destinations. And this is not only a traveler problem, this is a structural inefficiency, which means lost revenue for these local economies. And this is actually the pain point that we are addressing with TubbyMate. So we make these places easy to explore. That's our solution. And how are we going to do this? We turn local points of interest, routes, experiences, and fragmented local context into structured and map-based discovery, and embed this content directly into the digital environment of our accommodation partners. So this makes these places, this enhances visibility, and travelers can actually understand how a stay can look like, which in turn boosts their confidence and peace of mind that traveling there actually works. So in short, TubbyMate is not stopping at inspiration. We guide travelers from discovery to travel decision, and we turn exploration into actual bookings and local revenue. From a business perspective, TubbyMate operates as an embedded B2B2C SaaS platform. Partners like accommodation providers pay a monthly fee to use TubbyMate as a discovery to booking engine that, to help them to activate demand and convert it into real bookings. In the long run, this also enables a digital marketplace layer where we connect travelers directly with local experiences and services. In total, this means we create a powerful flywheel where more partners mean more built-in distribution, which leads to more bookings and more revenue. TubbyMate is not an idea stage project. We are soon launching our pilot in Nakatsugawa, which is an ideal environment for validation. This area is rich in culture, nature, and hosts beautifully preserved post towns like Magomejuku, if you heard about it. And it already has experience-driven demand, but lacks visibility. And at the same time, we have a local accommodation partner who gives us direct access to end users without relying on costly user acquisition. So the starting point is Japan, but the underlying problem exists everywhere in the world. Hidden authentic experiences are everywhere, and TubbyMate is built as a scalable SaaS platform.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. All right, let's get some questions from the audience, please. Questions from the audience. Anyone have, raise your hands if you guys have a question, please. Anyone have a question? Don't be shy, go ahead, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Hey, thank you for the introduction. It seems a very interesting service. I also work as a volunteer tour guide, so I'm really interested in your business. And my question is, when I travel, I ask now ChatGPT or Gemini, like ask recommendation areas to go or make a plan. What's the difference with like using those AI service and your like service?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. The difference is that in the end, it's only inspiration. That is what I try to convey. You can get inspiration and ideas very easily on the internet right now. But in the end, you have to research the local context, like how to get there, where to stay anyway. So it's just this entry point. And we are actually starting behind that. Inspiration can be done by other platforms. But where we really help is that we help with the discovery and with giving all the local context that you actually need to actually really go there. I think that's the major difference. And this is actually why many people default to what feels easy and safe.
Okay.
One more question?
Yep. Yeah, over there.
Okay, the pricing model basically is a SaaS model fee, a SaaS fee model. Our first clients are accommodation partners in that particular regions. I guess that makes sense because it's the gateway to the region, and the monetary value is also quite high. But then we are talking now a little bit about go-to-market. We can also expand to other partners, like for example, local governments, etc. And then also not only vertically or horizontally into a digital marketplace. Because if we already open up the visibility for these regions, we can use this to connect the activated demand to match with the supply, local supply. But how much, I cannot say at the moment.
Hi, Nico, thank you for the presentation. I think it was very smart to do B2B to C, right? Yeah, B2C is much more difficult, so congratulations for thinking about that. For the past month, I think I talked to maybe 10 different companies that are doing similar things. And of course, you got the big players, Booking.com, all these companies. And so what's your defensibility? How do you protect yourself from the big players and also all these other companies that are doing quite similar things? I literally spoke to 10 companies that are doing similar things. So how are you different?
Okay, thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to say that the big players, the platforms like OTAs, like Booking.com and so on, they could partially build it, but they are structurally not incentivized to go into this layer. They are more focusing on conversion at scale. And what we are doing is, I think, something that is structurally not in their focus. And our defensibility or our mode, first of all, it's embedded usage. So we embed our solution directly into the website or SNS of our partners. So it's not like a 100,000 travel app that B2C users use. In the end, yes, end user is a traveler, but we embed it into the digital environment of B2B partners. That's one thing. And the other thing is our I think, a new positioning. We open up a totally new position in the travel ecosystem. At the moment, this is what I claim, it's totally empty. And this is actually why we see this inefficiency in the travel ecosystem. There is no layer existing at the moment which guides the travelers to regional areas by providing the information in a consolidated way.
Any quick words?
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm from Kamakura, so we have many tourists in Kamakura. So if the service help them to visit some other places, that would be great. But anyway, so I have one question. So what kind of tourists do you target specifically?
Yeah, good question, thank you. For the beginning, mainly Western travelers. And from a psychographic point of view, more experience-driven travelers who want to actively go beyond the beaten path. And there are more and more, actually there's many trends coming together at the moment, but one trend that I want to point out is there's more and more repeat travelers in Japan. Many people come for the 5th time or whatever, and at some point they want to go beyond Kyoto. They have seen Kyoto, okay, it was nice, but next time they want to see more. So naturally, the people will more and more dilute into the backcountry.
Okay, I think it's a very important policy product for very specific travelers and users. That will be faster, to grow service, I think. So then, please identify your target, very specific target. That would be great.
Thank you.
All right, Nico, thank you so much for your pitch. I want to just give you some quick feedback with regards to some things storytelling-wise and presentation-wise that can help you land a bit more. It took a little bit too long with regards to the problem. You had, I think, gone into a little bit of a tangent with regards to getting into that problem. Investors want to hear about your solution within 30 seconds of getting up on stage. So clearly identify the problem and then get into your solution so we get excited about it, right? And also, it's travel, right? Everyone loves to travel, yes? Yes? I want to feel that excitement from you as well. right? I want to feel that on stage when you're presenting a solution for somebody who's excited about coming to Japan and then also wanting to travel, right? So I think more visuals about like, you know, some of the experiences they can have. If you're currently working with some partners, let's see some pictures from there, some, you know, social proof, those type things. It would really make it more powerful. But I think you're improving each time, and you know, just keep at it, man. Some of the feedback you guys have said are definitely relevant. But yeah, I think just getting it out to more users is great, and you'll have a good chance here tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Dennis. There we go. That one there, yeah. All right, timer. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dennis. Raise up your hand if you don't love food. Obviously, all love food. And Kimperks is all about food and agriculture. What I'm going to share with you is the knowledge station platform for agriculture. What we do, we capture knowledge, tacit knowledge. When I mean tacit knowledge, something which is dying away. I'll explain in a few slides. Almost now 2 years ago, with my team was working for this consulting firm, and then agriculture enthusiasts, we started small plot, pretty small, and we get a loss of around 100%. And next to me was a 70-year-old woman whose tomatoes were really pretty doing good. I've been in agriculture for over 20 years, and that clicked into my head. What's happening? I reached out to her, and she tells me, you planted 3 weeks earlier. That's a problem in agriculture, in Japan specifically, where the population is dying, and that dies away with the knowledge. So that economic accumulates to almost 11 billion. So far promising, but the number is really down, where 46K, that's a 2 years data, shows people get into agriculture. But out of that, 87 literally don't know anything about agriculture. And that's where we come in. But now, let me give you a little bit of what's happening here. What you see, the cyclic is the tacit which dies when the farmers, retire. And what we want to do is that passing on the next generation to the next farmers. We've done that. Personally, for the last 2 years, we've run 1, 2, 3, 15 plots, crop cycles, and from the 0% loss which you saw, we're now pretty getting something 20% harvest, and that we've proved our thesis that passing on the knowledge to the next one really works. And that's why I'm introducing to you KIC. Kimperks is a Kimperks intelligence capsule. What it does literally is capture the knowledge from this 7-year-old Obachan who has been with 50, 60 years knowledge and pass it on to the new farmers. And that, we're doing that through the platform. And what we're adding to that is actually an ownable digital asset. So I'll share the next slide. The new farmer gets a license, is licensed to the knowledge, of course, when he pays. And we're returning back the pay, the 50 to 60% to the old farmer. And so when he retires, he sits down, relax, and still what is accumulated 50 years still gets back because knowledge is being used. Literally, this is what you see. As a platform, of course, you can access. So it's more like putting this Suzuki-san, 70-year-old, close to this Tanaka-san, 30 years, and it's learning from them. So that is a potential which Japan hasn't yet, discovered so far. What I mean that is we are literally, if you look at this competitive analysis, in the food value chain, agriculture inclusive, where you plant, that's the upstream, the seed, until you see the food which gets into your mouth. This part where you see agri-tech mainly focuses around, the sensors, and the up one, which is the knowledge, is not transferred. Now, there's a promising part of it. I give an example of Chikomel, where they capture the recipe and package as a product, and that is what Kimperks is doing from the upstream part of it. And for the business model, as I mentioned earlier, the license is the first case, which is sharing, where the new farmer pays because he gets guideline to the new farmer, to the master's farm, which we capture data, of course, voice, IoT, images. And just give a little bit about the market. I mentioned earlier 46K people get into agriculture, but if you narrow down the number for the CEA, which you're targeting, which is around 6,000, But then if you get down, we target around 240, 18, maybe 2 years time. I mentioned a little bit about just go straight to where we're heading to. We have secured a farm already, and now we're seeing Q3 where we need to begin meeting these farmers. Of course, we're seeking for seed fund with all that we want to implement too. So a little bit about me. I've been in agriculture for the last 20 years. We're from Africa, dealing with agri-tech, food tech. And this is an accumulative what I've been working with. I've got a good team of advisors who are helping me bring this vision beyond agriculture. Of course, I'm fully employed into key parks. I do some other work with grooming AI leaders.
All right, thank you so
director.
much, everyone. Give him a round of applause, please. Thank you so much. All right, let's get some questions from the audience, please. Questions from the audience, please raise your hands first, yes. Don't be shy. Come on now, any question. If you don't understand something, you can also give feedback. All right, let's give him a question, yeah.
Hey Dennis, love the idea. It's great. So I was just curious about how you plan to price it for the farmers. And I saw the licensing agreement kind of had a rush over the time, I believe. But,
Sorry, can you speak a little bit louder?
Sorry. Yeah, so I was just curious about your pricing model. I love the idea, by the way. It's fantastic. And I was curious how you plan to work with farmers. And how do you plan to connect that to the world?
So to answer your question, our go-to-market with the farmers are the municipalities. They have a huge number of farmers that we're planning to get to. We already started initial talks with some prefectures to see how we can capture that. And because there are government cases, and more especially talk about this is more like a rural revitalization that is handling a problem. So this is what we have said for the go-to-market.
Good. Any other questions, guys? Questions? Yes, down here.
Hi there, my name is Dustin. I actually built something similar with a founder based in Singapore that's trying to do something with Web3 for the Philippines and also Indonesia, more for Southeast Asia. And the biggest problem that we have is that the farmers don't have money to pay for some type of technology that can actually build everything. So I'm wondering how, probably it works for Japan because they have government funding, but are you thinking that it's only a Japan product, or have you been thinking about the global scale? Just because I think a lot of farmers in Southeast Asia can learn so much from the Japanese farmers, and that can even be a more global, I think, product that can help the region.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, we're looking at the global for sure. We think about like transferring strawberry technique in Japan outside. And of course, you're not looking at one or two farmers. If you scale it outside, for example, Thailand, I mean like Cambodia, where they're putting into encouraging farmers to be more corporate. So you think about corporations and look at these scheme parks as a bar where they can refer to. So that is one. And the level of investment, so if something gets you 40% break even and it's not a trial, reducing your trial rate, it's worth it paying for it. That's why we're getting confident on how that could return back, maybe probably minimum 2 or 3 years. In addition to that, there's something we're adding on as a brand to it. So look at it, Tanaka's Kimpark certified Tanaka produce. So the new farmer, when he gets into it, after 3 years, because we validated and he can now use technology. So when he goes to the market, it's all about trust. They see something satisfied, and psychologically, when it's something satisfied, there's a price you pay for that. So there's some evolving onto that, which we've set in the roadmap and hope it works. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Japan needs this kind of service.
Thank you.
I think. And let me ask a question. So, what kind of knowledge is hardest to transfer from experienced farmers to new farmers? and through traditional methods right now?
Sorry, just what knowledge?
So what kind of knowledge and how does it transfer from experienced farmers to new farmers?
So the knowledge, because it's all right from putting in the seed, the loss we got, right? Just timing. So this Suzuki and go and say, we must, that is very important. So it breaks from soil, usage of soil, how to deal with maybe pests. Of course, you may use pesticides, but how that timing, because something is beyond just applying chemicals, it's just the timing. So timing and how you use it, that's why we're capturing the voices, what they say, and something which is backed up to that. Sensors cannot see that. It's right in there. So the whole food value chain, as right the plant until the harvest, that's what we're capturing. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is, I think it's amazing to retain knowledge. So it's a very good idea. From a investor perspective, though, I'm not quite clear about the business model and the revenue model. So you have here 60%, 40% revenue share.
Exactly.
So when an investor is looking at this, I'm not understanding from an investor point of view, what are my returns? What am I getting if I were invested in a company? How big is the revenue and what am I getting back? So it's not quite clear.
Yeah, because this is a thesis which we built on in 2 years, if we can capture 480 million, because one license is around 600,000. So that is what we're putting into Vista. Of course, it can accumulate up to around 250,000 addressable market. So that is as a cumulative one is what the investor, can see that. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think what he's also trying to say is that maybe the way it's set up right now, storytelling-wise, it's not clear how that connection is. Of course, we have the market size here, and then you have your business model, but it's still not quite clear how they're going to make a return. So that's something, a little bit of tweaking,
Sure.
I think you can obviously, improve on, right? With regards
Thank
to
you.
storytelling, I think that you did a really good job of eye contact over here, but you left us out, man.
Oh,
You didn't even take a look at us over here, right? Make sure, guys, when you're pitching, you're scanning the entire audience, right? Making sure you get everyone involved with your eye contact, because especially if you're pitching investors, right? They want to know, they want to connect with you, and that's where you might lose them if you're not keeping your eye contact. And look with your whole entire body as well, right? It's very, very important. It's an improved pitch from last time, so very, very good job including those visuals and understanding a little bit. Every single time I told you, I feel like I understand your idea a little bit more. It's getting closer and closer, but now we need to work on the business model and how they're going to make money back. But overall, good improvement from last time.
And thank you, Chin, for your platform. It's really impressive, and I used it for information.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you so much, guys. Yep. All right. Thank you, man. Next up. Who's next? Next up is Uttam. Come on up. All right, here you go. Woo! All right, 5 minutes, 3, 2, 1, go.
Perfect. Just on time, right? Hi, everyone. I'm Uttam, CEO of Avete. Construction sites have a problem that nobody is solving. They go unwatched for most of the days. We built an AI that fixes that. We work on downsizing the reporting time by 85%. We provide the coverage by 100% in the construction sites around the clock. And from a single site photo, we can generate the full risk report in just 10 seconds. Let me show you why this matters. In Japan, construction worker dies every 39 hours. 223 deaths every year. So 30% of every workplace death in this country happens at a construction site. Right. The reason is not that they're not trying hard to fix this problem. The reason is structural. A safety officer can walk 2 sites a day. The other 80%, nobody's watching. So safety today is manual, reactive, and capped by human legs. That's where we come in. We replace that with our AI. Our Anzen AI is a 24/7 safety officer. Every site simultaneously. These aren't just projections. These are actual numbers that are coming out from our pilots. 85% reduction in reporting time, 100% site coverage, and 97.3% accuracy on legal compliance, exact Industrial Safety and Health Act articles for every hazards. And you can get the results from 10 seconds from a picture to a full report. So we have 3 steps. Step 1, plug in your existing cameras, be it CCTV, be it body cameras, drones, phones, 360-degree camera, any sort of data input source that you collect for your safety patrolling, for your safety hazards, you just plug it in. Anzen AI scores the risks, cites the laws, output goes to everywhere. For the sites, we provide alerts. For headquarters, we provide dashboard, and we also provide audit-ready trails. No new hardwares, and it gets live in a week. Here is what it actually looks like. In the left side, we basically have 8 hours of CCTV cameras. In a site, you have what, like 20, 25 cameras. Nobody is going to look at it throughout the entire day. We basically provide the exact 4 moments that matters. On the right, that's the real Anzen AI screen of excavation site, where the safety score is 58%. Workers detected too close to the unshored pit. This is all done by our AI. No safety person was involved in making this report. Currently, 7 of Japan's top 10 GCs are part of Avete. Look at this wall, this beautiful wall, right? So you go from Kajima, Shimizu, Obayashi, Takenaka, Taisei. These are top 5 Genecons in Japan. Plus, we have Toda, Sumitomo Mitsui, Tokyo Kizai, and many more who are currently using our platform. Our price is very simple. We charge 60,000 for our platform per site. This provides reports, insights, and all the details. Then for every camera addition, we have an extra add-on cost. That's the math from 14 for us to reach like 14 million ARR in the next 1 year to 700 million ARR in next by 2030. This is just from Japan. So the SAM itself in Japan is 4.6 billion. 113,000 construction companies are the companies that we are targeting. They have a revenue of over 100 million. We are going after 18,900 of them. 3 catalysts that we are looking for. We have the government certification from NETIS. We have aging workforce and foreign influence in the construction sites in Japan. And we have Vision AI breakthrough. We have huge amount of construction industry experience. Most of us are from construction actually. Right now we are raising $1 million in our seed round to unlock 14 million ARR in the next 1 year. 30% goes to field and customer success, 30 in integration, 20 for enterprise security, and 20 in go-to-market. 3 things I'm expecting from this today's pitch. 1 is commit to lead or follow our next investment round. We want at least 2 GC introduction from most of you. And let's have a 30-minute diligence call this week. We are closing this round in next 30 days, so the clock is ticking. Thank you very much. We have a dream of 0 accident globally. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent job, man. Any questions from the audience, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand, guys. Any questions at all?
So obviously accidents are unpredicted and probably the situations are very diverse, right? And sometimes a new situation will happen, something that was never thought of before. Do you have an evaluation of how much your AI as of it is today can prevent death, or do you think it could go to 0 death?
Yeah, so that's our vision, 0 deaths, right? Basically, right now our AIs analyze different types of scenarios, be it from a simple civil engineering sites or like very complicated civil engineering sites like tunnels or Shinkansen and bridges and whatnot. So we are basically trying to identify more and more scenarios, and we have generated like our base model that can be very easily accommodated to a new information as well, very easily. For example, there was like one site who requested that people smoke in our site. which we didn't think of, right? And they simply mentioned, can you add this category as well in your selection? And with a single sort of prompt within our AI platform, since the model already understands the construction site scenarios and the dress code and everything, we were able to get that in like 5 minutes. So yeah, we are kind of like very scalable in that way.
Good. Next question.
Hi, Uttam. I probably missed out. What kind of revenues are you generating at the moment?
Right now, we are generating around 21,000 USD per month.
And using all the 8 GCs which you have at the moment?
Yes. So some of the GCs are already paid. Some of them, they have like few enterprise projects going on. And there we have like few consulting companies who are also getting the data from their main data source into our Kenshu AI platform, which is like another sort of like chat sort of platform that we have developed.
From 21,000 to 40 million ARR in 1 year time, is there any framework around that?
Yeah, so we have around 12,000 construction sites in our pipeline. Actually, Japanese construction companies are very slow. And when you talk about tech, then they become extremely slow. So what we are doing right now is we're having a lot of like initial level trials with the construction companies. And these single companies, they have more than 200 plus construction sites. So the way we expand is we touch upon a single site, we develop a solution. So most of the GCs right now we are covering are using one site. And they all have potential to expand 300% within the same company. So that's the strategy we are taking for the next 1 year.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question, so thank you for it's quite optimistic. So I'm going to ask a different question. I want to stress test your good numbers that you put up in terms of the safety numbers.
Yeah.
Could you describe the situations how did you collect that information? Was it in a more safe environment or safe situation, and if it is, or if it's not, it's fine, but maybe you could describe a situation when a problem does arise. How does the foreman handle that situation? And so when a risk comes up, how does the company handle the situation?
First question about the accuracy part, really good question, thank you. What we did, like our core is basically civil engineers from like big GCs, we all work for them, right? So we prepared a lot of like meticulously detailed training data, be it from the government, be it from the specific construction sites and things. Our basic model is trained and fine-tuned on that. Then we have, for example, one of our core member, Koike-san, he is certified safety consultant as well for construction industry. We basically have most of the time have a competition with like, he looks at a video or pictures, he figures out what are the risks. Our AI does the same thing, and we do the comparison, and we keep correcting the model throughout with this feedback. Then when we actually run the pilots, we have like weekly feedback with all these GCs as well. So that's how we keep on improving the model. And that's how we are able to reach this kind of accuracy number, which is registered in the NETIS, which is like Japanese government regulatory body basically to certify our product for a construction environment. The second question is when this kind of problem arises in the site, what they do. So if they know about it beforehand, then basically they have to fix it, right? What happens is in a construction site, you don't just have one company working, you have multiple subcontractors working in the same site. So most of the time what happens is maybe one subcontractor notices something, but they simply ignore it. Actually, in my 6 years of working for Hazama Ando, we had 2-3 really major accidents where the company lost a lot of reputation and money as well. Most of them, they had very early signs of the same accident keep happening, like 5-6 times keep on ignoring the same accident, and then it became like a lot bigger. Right? So we are trying to catch it a bit more early through our proactive approach.
Thank you very much. I see your service has a network effect, right? Which is good for investors. Network effect, right?
Yeah.
And then, but can you elaborate your strategy? How you can strengthen this network effect on your service?
So we have collaboration with 4 construction associations in Japan. Mostly they are located in Tokyo, and they have huge number of construction companies within those associations. We hold seminars and events with those associations where we get to interact with actual construction sites and companies. Plus, we come from this industry. All have worked in Japanese construction industry, so we have a lot of connection within the industry as well. So that's how we basically use the network effect.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for the feedback. I just want to give you, obviously, for all the founders here, when you have this opportunity to get up in front of stage, it's really, really, really good to practice so you don't have to read your slides, right? Because what happens when we read the speaker notes, we don't give good eye contact, and that's something where if you're going to connect with your audience, it's very important. We know that you're confident and you know your stuff if you lock eyes with us, right, and are able to do that. That's number one. Love your slides, by the way. I think it's very clear with regards to the storytelling, the visuals. There's not a lot of text, so I think it's very clear and easy to follow. The one thing I would say is lead with your traction, man. You have traction, right? You have all these people who sign up. You got invested through Antler as well. Yeah. You have money coming in. As a pre-seed, like seed stage company raising that much, we need to show that this is an idea that's making money first, so that it's easier for them to be like, okay, yeah, okay, maybe I'll listen a little bit more carefully and take this seriously, right? So that's a good thing to do. But other than that, man, this is a really sharp pitch. What happened to my
Thank you, I broke your PC.
You broke my, oh no. It's broken, oh no. But yeah, honestly, it was a really, really sharp pitch, man, and hopefully we can just continue making it more sharp. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. All right. Next up is John. Ready?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, Bindy. I'm the founder of Bindy. My name is John. Last summer, I was having a hangout at an izakaya with my friend. He's from Australia. His name is Nate. So we're drinking beer, and his phone popped. He looked at it, and he had a gleam on his face. He looked up, and I was like, what's up? He's like, bro, I've just been turned down on credit. I'm a foreigner. I said, no, it's not just you being a foreigner. It's cut across everyone. He's a freelancer. There was no reason why he was declined on credit. The response was cold. And millions of foreigners, freelancers in Japan, go through this. On my way back home, I was thinking, I was also declined of credit. Anytime I have to do my renewal for rental, I have to go through a guarantor and pay. Not because I cannot afford or not because I'm not trustworthy, but the system is designed in such a way that I need to go through a guarantor or I always have to be declined on credit. So that's how I founded Bindy. Oh, sorry. Can you help me there? Okay. Yes, so Bindy is designed for 3 specific people: freelancers. Freelancers in the modern Japanese economy are becoming more and more. We have 22 million of them. The Japanese economy is aging, so more people are having to do the same work that they had to do before. But these same people, when they have to access credit or access housing, are being declined because they do not fit into the traditional employment systems. Second are foreign residents, students, who always have to pay guarantors to always renew their rent. And small businesses. So for example, I have a friend called Atusi. He runs a ramen store. So Atusi has a POS with PayPay. Each time he has to pay a supplier, and then his payment window from PayPay does not come through or is stretched midweek, he's cash strapped. He cannot pay somebody, his suppliers, for the supplies he needs to supply his ramen store. So he has cash on his POS system, but he's not liquid. And the system does not allow him to go to access quick liquidity in the market. He needs to go to a bank and apply for a loan to be liquid on Wednesday whilst he needs supply. But the data shows he has liquidity in the system. So the solution that we are presenting as Bindy is that we are creating a behavioral way of assessing people, not just based on employment or based on a contract, but how do you behave on a periodic scale? How do you behave when you have salary? How do you behave when on lean months? So if you are a freelance, as you are waiting for invoice, what is your actions, or what can we use to judge you on your previous behaviors on finance. So we're also putting out a real-time credit assessment for you to assess credit in a dynamic and not a static way. So we are assessing velocity, stability, and reliability. These are the 3 layers that we assess someone before we give you dynamic access to credit. It's not static, it's on the go each time that you are applying for this credit. So it's one engine. It's an engine that helps freelancers as float. It helps foreigners who are trying to access housing as anchor, and it helps small businesses as pulse. So our new value proposition is simple. For businesses, we are giving you access to credit when you need it at a particular time. And for and for freelancers, we are giving you access to money whilst you are expecting your invoices to land. So for our revenue systems, every float we deploy to a business or a freelance, we are taking 3% float fee from that user, and then we are trying to capture 10,000 people within our pilot, and that gives us for freelancers about 360 million yen over, if you're able to charge 3,000 yen.
All right, time's up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a question, guys. Question from the audience, please raise your hand. Yes, right there, yeah.
Thank you for your introduction.
Thank you.
Very interesting. And I have a question. I think we still have like consumer finance with high interest rate. So what's different with your service compared to those?
So consumer finance, the issue we are trying to address access. So right now, if you are talking about consumer finance, it's in 2 ways. It's either you are doing a buy now, pay later with services like Paydi, or you go to Rakuten to apply for access to credit. And there's no probability you actually get it or you don't. And the assessment reasons are not even given to you. Most often, you don't even know why you are being declined. So we are trying to challenge that, to say, why don't we look at your behavioral pattern? What do you do? And with that analysis, we can judge and tell you if you are creditworthy in a dynamic way and in real time.
Just one question.
Go ahead.
So who do you work with and how do you get these clients?
So we are B2B2C. So for example, we are not a standalone app. We integrate with fintech apps, okay? We don't want to go into distribution. The data already exists. What we are doing is leveraging on this data to tell the fintech companies, you have this merchant. He has 30,000 customers coming in every month. He has a good buffer state. And each week, he's cash trapped because you deliver cash to him monthly. So why don't you extend him credit based on the amount of money he is receiving on your data? So our clients mostly are the fintech services, and then on the user side, we target foreigners as I said, we have 3 different features, but 1 engine. So it's a B2B2C.
All right.
Not just foreigners though, different users.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Very interesting idea. Let me give you one comment. So I understand you have identified 3 targets, right? But the challenges and needs of these 3 targets are similar but different, I think. So can you specify 1 target and dig deep into one target's needs and challenges, and please develop your service for 1 target, and then you can extend to other targets. That would be faster and more promising, I think.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for the pitch. So you described the problem very well, but from a investor perspective, right? So you're making, you have a pitch deck, so that means you want to raise money. And investor looking at your pitch deck doesn't understand what are you asking for, right? How much money you're asking, what are you gonna do with that money? What is your timeline to get point A to point B, where investor can get the returns X time? So from an investor standpoint, none of that information is there. So it's very unclear for an investor to understand what it is that you're trying to do. You understand the problem, but from an investor standpoint, yeah, how much you need to raise, why you're raising, what are you doing with that, the raised money? It's
Thank you very much. Just to comment that, we are not raising now. We are still at the validation phase. So what the next slide basically is trying to put us in front of our B2B partners so that we integrate and then we can analyze.
Okay, so you're just looking for introductions now, right? Okay, cool, excellent. I do want to say something. First, really great hook. I think that it's a relatable hook that many of us can, get attracted to. Every single presentation should start off with a hook to make the audience want to listen more, and you did a great job of that. A little bit long. If you can shorten it a little bit and make it, quick, easy to get everyone interested, I think it'd be even more better. I would do it also on your cover slide so we can see instead of like your picture and everything. I think it would have been good. It's a missed opportunity there to have it right there so we can kind of see maybe what your solution is and then the name of your company, all that stuff. With regards to the slides, like Ching is saying, I think you can use a little bit more work with regards to design and visuals and things like that. There's a lot of text, like these numbers here. Investors, what do they care about more? They care about numbers, right? So we want to see them big, bold, beautiful numbers that you're looking for, that you're making money from, or that you're asking for, so that it's easy for them to see really quickly, okay, this is what I'm gonna get with this investing in this, or this is how much it costs. Like, those visuals would really help. You had some nice, like, other images, but the numbers-wise need to be front and center on that slide. And then you have actually many, many slides, so cutting it down a little bit more for a 5-minute pitch would be good so you can get through all of them. But I love your energy. I love your body language. Your eye contact was good. That's a great start. The visuals will come after, so keep working, keep validating, you'll be great shape. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. You're welcome. All right, guys, having fun? Yes? Yes? Awesome, man. Awesome, awesome. Okay, excellent. All right, let's go to the next one. Daniel, you ready? Come on up. Okay. Woo! 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, everyone. So, who in here hasn't had the problem, for example, you go to a meeting, has been, lasting for ages, right? And then it's like, it comes to the end of the questions and they kind of like freak out, right? Kind of like what to say and anything. Or you have been in you are going to check a new apartment, right? And you always like forget, like I should have asked about if they have done the renovation when, and if they have animals, so on, right? Or as you are like investors, right? How many times when you're checking a new company, right? You have you always want, your time is limited. You want to know, what you want to ask, all the questions, to know, if that company can have traction, right? And so, actually, there's not many, tools right now that really help you real time, advising you, what question, what answer you should say next, right? So that's why we build, Smarty Pants, because it's actually your conversation partner, right? So basically, it really listens to the context, actually, and also binds by the previous conversations and the information you have from the company, and gives you actionable, real-time information for the best outcome, so you can actually make a change. So basically, as you're saying, many times, you are thinking, I wish I have thought about that, right? Or everything always happens too late, right? Or you zone out, or actually, you are not taking the time for your advantage, right? So basically, right now, like the competitors are actually pretty much like a focus on the transcription. They're kind of like just like transcribing. It's kind of like useful. A lot of like people probably using this like or other Fireflies for online meetings. But actually, to have like a help like on on the real time, this is not happening, and probably it's not gonna happen anytime soon, because these products, when you will see, is like if we want like a help real time, a person is focused on a conversation, so you cannot have a lot of like extra information noisy, right? So we design something that is frictionless. So basically, the system listens at the room, right? And of course, ingest. The idea is like it ingests, it connects to all the information sources, right? So for example, we are gonna talk with the CFO. We are not gonna, it's not gonna be relevant to ask him about like vacations, right? It's gonna be questions about like when is gonna be the 3-year like profit and loss. Then of course, like it actually checks the context, and I will give you like the proposal like in real time, right? So basically, as you can see here in the use cases, right? We have basically anything that we can call a conversation is a moment that we can actually use the tool, right? Can be in an interview, right? This is a tool that can be used for both the one like giving the interview or the one answering the interview, right? You want to answer to the best of your knowledge, right? Or in a sales negotiation, you are in an M&A, you don't want to leave millions on the table because you didn't ask something, right? So you want to do like the due diligence, right, correctly. So if you are like missing something for a question, it's gonna be quite costly, right? And also like for, like in Japanese, like kabeuchi, right? So a tool to help you with the brainstorming. So basically, I mean, the idea is like we're really building on the context. We have like models like specific models like context thinking machines. So actually, as we can say, like, well, can be like seen in this like release that you can actually check the QR code, and actually for it's gonna be very easy to use it. Like the monetization also will allow for the agentic like platform to actually, because we are training it. But actually what we are like looking here is like first like investors to help like invest in that. The second is like partners that can actually use this tool with us. And then it's like, of course, like any kind of clients, anybody that is like need on conversations, right? So thank you very much.
All right, excellent, excellent. Can we get questions from the audience, please? Oh, so many questions. Right there. Let's go. Here.
Thank you for your explanation. I have a question in regards to Fireflies. You mentioned that they don't have this in place. Fireflies, when I'm using it, does have this in place. So they have an AI tool that does real time. I can chat, I can ask questions. What's the difference between your tool and this AI version?
The Fireflies asks you questions based only on the context of the only conversation, and it's kind of now, right? So this is kind of thing. It doesn't actually even binds with the previous conversations, or like kind of like the basically specific information. This actually, our tool is not only cloud, but also can work like offsite, right? So it can actually connect to the ERP, right? And the questions that you can ask is kind of like a basic in a way. So it's not also actionable, right? In our system, actually, the idea is like you need to type, right? In Fireflies, we don't need to type anything. That's the question. I mean, if you are in a conversation, have you tried typing? How does it work? It doesn't work, right? So because, I mean, if you are like talking, can you talk? I mean, I cannot. I mean, I'm not. I know that in the band players, right? Some people like sing, some plays the guitar. I'm not one of these people, right? So when I'm talking, I'm talking, right? It's hard to also type. So this system is totally frictionless, right? So actually, yourself, you can actually select the system first. understands what kind of conversation you're having, if it's a negotiation, an interview, and so on, the stage you are, if you are in the negotiation, if you're in the early stages, the sentiment analysis also does it, and then you have like some kind of like very like driving buttons that you can actually select, push the button if you want, and then it's like the questions or answers, like follow-ups, will be proposed to you. So it's totally frictionless, because the idea with this is actually also to work with the smart glasses or the headphones. You cannot do that typing or having two conversations at the same time, or like having noise.
Okay, good. Next question over there. Heiken, over there. New person, yeah.
Thanks for the presentation, it's very good.
Sure.
I'm just thinking it's a very wide range of fields. So for example, your model will be working in any field. I am, for example, working in telecom field. Will it know some technical discussion happening? Will it be able to give the relative questions? So how is it working in the back end?
You mean like the verticals? Well, that's the idea. It's like right now, of course, that's one of the things that we are like looking for, like pilot partners, like in different verticals, because like any like AI like products, right? So AI, the difference between like AI and software as a service is basically non-deterministic. It's based on data, and at the beginning you need data, right? You need like actually validated like people that has like faced a situation and chosen one question over another, right? So that's the thing. But right now we are actually looking to enter in the verticals that actually we're going to have the most impact, but we don't have any kind of like restriction per se.
Okay, good. There's one more question. Let's get her in the back.
Yes, thanks for the presentation. This is really a great idea. So the point here is that how I interact with the AI. So is it just application, or there is some real-time something that can
It is total real time. By the way, I mean, you guys, like, anybody can actually scan the QR, right? And sign up in the mailing, because we are now in the beta, right? But actually, it's an app, right, that you can have on your phone, on your desktop, anywhere, right? Right now, what we have is kind of like proposing you the follow-ups, like either like questions or answers, right? Kind of like it's actually automatically. So you can have it in a face-to-face conversation. You can have it by your side. You can do it online, because you have the plugins with the different like conversational tools, right? And gives you like the info, right? And we are building, as I said, that even not to need to actually have the typical computer, like smart glasses, and also like the AirPods, things like that, of course. I mean, each device will have its own limitations. With a Whisper, in the earphones, will give you like a few, it's like queue you a few options, and you will choose, right?
Okay, perfect, excellent. Now let's get some feedback.
Please. Thank you very much. I think I need your service, but I'm not sure I can act on guidance which your AI gives me.
If you what? Sorry.
No, I'm not sure I can act on the guidance which your AI gives me.
Why not?
Yeah, because okay, all right, let me. So if you elaborate on the interface, but I think the interface is very key, right? So if you show us the interface, it would be very helpful.
Yeah, actually, I can show you.
Yes.
It's like I don't have it in the slides, but I can show you afterwards, like privately.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, what you're saying, actually, this is one of the things that we thought. It's not about like providing answers. It's like linking them with the outcome, right? So the outcome, like what the conversation went to, right? Because if not, anybody can give a recommendation, but if it's about recommendation, it hurts more than helps, right? So,
all right, okay.
It's linked with the KPIs. We'll see like later.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. So, in the slide you mentioned Granola and Cluely. So Granola raised $43 million. Cluely is backed by Anderson.
So how are we going to fight against these guys?
Yeah, so this is more of a founder's fit. What makes you unique? What do you know that they don't know, where you can beat them?
Sure. So I few things, right? The data mode, as we are building, we are not just like being a ChatGPT wrapper, right? So we actually, I mean, my partner, Hite, she's like a top-notch, engineer. Well, also me, right? But he's like the CTO. And we are actually building the data mode based on like new models that actually this is gonna be the thing that we can actually like, it's gonna be our value, right? So this is the thing, like using in the new models. The second is like, we are a Japanese company. I mean, we are both like based in Japan for more than 10 years, right? So we are gonna use like also Japan or like a market mode, right, to enter. There's a lot of like companies here in Japan that need it, and also multi-language that we offer, right? So we want to grow here before like going to, to another markets. And yeah, so basically that's the thing that's gonna be a bit differentiative.
All right, I have a few things of feedback I want to just get to really quickly. Number one, I love the slides, how they're like visually designed. I think that they're very clean, easy to follow. We're missing your solution. We'd love to see the interface. We'd love to see the interface.
That's why I put a QR code.
No,
so
but in a pitch, especially something like this, like it takes what, a couple of minutes to put together like a demo, a live demo, and make a video of it. So no, please don't show it now. It's okay. It would be good to do that in your pitch, all right? Especially when it's a B2C product where people are going to use it. I think it would be very cool to say, hey, this is what I do, right? And it can be just like a 30-second to a 1-minute clip, right? And while you're talking over it, it would make it more tangible, easy for us to understand. Sure. That's number one. Number two, you said like and write many times, like over 100 times. So I think it's very important to like practice a little bit before, okay? And get those nerves out, because obviously there's so many people here. It could be good to practice a bit before. But again, this is something that we all kind of can figure, like, okay, this is something we're used to using. Fireflies, granola, those type things. So next time I just want to see more of that image, more of those images and how it actually works. Yeah. But many people raise their hands, so during the open networking, feel free to ask them questions during that. It seems like it's a great product that many people
I've been
use.
running actually the app, so you guys can see actually what the system answers.
Good.
So,
thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Awesome. All right, next up, we have Ogi. Welcome.
Okay. Hi everyone. Oh man, there's a lot of people. I was sitting in over there, so I couldn't see in the back of the people. And hello everyone, my name is Ogi. So today I'm gonna introduce T-Rex Insight, but before that, I wanna raise a question to going into the pitch. So how many of you actually heard about perovskite solar cell? Can you raise your hands? No? Nobody? Okay, 1, 2. Okay, then, so let me just introduce perovskite solar cell. It's a new gen of the solar cell, and it will be building a lot of energy in next couple of years. So last couple of years, there's a lab breakthrough actually going on, and this perovskite solar cell is actually crystal clear, so you can put it on the window, and also it can be a very, very thin, like 1,000 times thinner than the current solar cells. So that making the cost is very low, that will be making the manufacturing. So last couple of years, actually, there's an early commercial actually going on. So many companies in companies called Oxford PV and different kind of R&D companies are actually trying to commercializing. And lots of the papers actually saying that from next year, there will be mass adoption phase will be start for this industry. So now we understand after perovskite solar, I want to go into the problem. So the problem is that this new gen solar cell is actually no durability test actually going on. It's mostly the data are actually accumulated on the lab sector. So we need to do the testing on the extreme weathers and UV testing. And this is actually blocking the financing sector of this energy, this niche market. And most of the affected of this problem is developers, manufacturers, also the investors. Imagine that you're investing like billions of dollars in some new solar cell, in like new solar energy platform, and then one day there will be like cold wave actually come, and it goes to the 0 degree, and then what will happen to your cell? It should be like alive in at least 10 years to getting your revenue, right? So that's actually a big financial impact and became the blocker of this niche industry. So what we are trying to do is that actually we are building the extreme climate testing. And this is actually, we are building the water stress testing. So every test actually creates unique data. And this is actually became very useful for the industry, and it became the benchmarking for all the manufacturers. So the business model is very simple. It's not a rocket science. First, we're getting into as a service testing platform. So we're testing a high-value project-based revenue, and also we're testing manufacturers and researchers sell in extreme weather. And then we're accumulating a data, and then became the benchmarking, and eventually going into industry niche platform became, for example, for finance, we can become the Bloomberg for the niche perovskite solar market. And we already validated the early demand. So I talked with a couple of manufacturers in China, UK, and also in Japan. And we also talked with a couple of researchers from Cambridge, Oxford, and also Caltech and MIT, including Tokyo University and Kyushu University. So we are actually trying to starting our first pilot, which became in Mongolia. And the reason is that Mongolia is very wide temperature swings, so we can build we can actually testing it more in a climate combination. And then lastly, let me introduce myself properly. So my name is Ogi. So I lived in Japan a couple of, almost more than 10 years, but I worked in a couple of different unicorns, and I led GTMs and also the partnership and market expansion. So in terms of for the founder, I'm more like a commercial side. And my co-founder is also from Mongolia, and he's actually had his PhD in Kyushu University, and he's well-known, highly cited perovskite research in doing a postdoc research in Cambridge University. So as a team, I think we are trying to building a platform for the perovskite solar using our background.
All right, any questions, guys? Let's get somebody who hasn't asked a question before. Anyone? Yes, over here, yes.
Thank you for the pitch. So I think that this kind of solar energy is kind of new right now in the market, right? So compared to the traditional market, so how many the market size of this right now your target audience? I want to know more about the market size because I think it's kind of a new technology, so I don't know how many people are ready to buy your solution.
Yes, thank you for the question. That's a very good question. I should include it in my pitch. So giving you the rough numbers, so there is actually currently 100 plus manufacturers in this sector. And of course, in terms of the researcher, most big universities actually have research for deep tech for the solar cells. So there is it's actually not only for the perovskite, it actually different kind of solar cells actually they can actually running. So in terms of like a market, it's actually quite big. And I'm not going to the like a SAM and TAM, but it can be easily billion dollar of market, yeah.
Just a quick question. Thank you for the presentation. On the testing, you say you're testing for the manufacturers. Suppose the manufacturers do the testing themselves.
No, we're actually doing the testing. So manufacturers are sending their cells or modules, and we're actually testing it for them in extreme weathers, for example, in pilot in Mongolia. So what we are doing is actually that, so each of the manufacturers actually, they need to send their cells before to commercialize it. They need to make the data as an insurance for getting insurance from the insurers, also to getting the money from the investors to make it prove that they actually survive in cold weather.
So that's the thing, like, because if I'm developing a project, I definitely have to test under extreme conditions, right?
Yes.
As a manufacturer,
Yes.
so if I do it.
No, it's actually quite hard to do that because for manufacturers, they are actually doing it currently in a lab. And in the outside, there is actually, it's quite hard to like find the extreme weather, like minus 40 degrees, and the next day it will go up to like 20 degrees. So it's very niche climate combination.
So I actually have two questions. So one is compliance and regulation. So it's certain testing requires accreditation. Is that something that you need to acquire? And second question is, your premise depends on the commercialization in 2028. What happens when that doesn't happen and it extends further? What happens to your company then?
Yes, that's also a very good question. So for first question, in terms of, so if we want to make a like certificate for the testing, then we need to get regulations depending on the country. So in terms of just benchmarking to the like different manufacturers' data, we can actually do it by ourselves. And for the second question, yes, there might be like a big new like generation, new generation of like solar cell actually can be introduced like next couple of years. But it's still, they still need to test in a cold weather. Like as a like investor to like entering the energy market, you have to make sure that your solar cell, like what kind of that solar cell, but it has to be survive at least 10 years to make getting a revenue from that investment. So even though it's actually not only for the perovskite, but also the next generation of the solar cells.
Thank you very much, Alan and Law, from your presentation. So you seem like social impact oriented. If you're so, please explain, what kind of future society do you want and why do you want that? That'd be great appeal to the social investors because we want to know how far we can run together to the end, right? So that for that, we want to know your conviction to tackle these social issues. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. So I actually worked a couple of different industries and currently working in a fintech industry and operational manager and like leading a GTM. The money is actually very attractive, but the problem solving, we're actually solving very simple problems and everybody can do that. And I'm about to paying out my MBA loan, so I'm actually trying to do different things. And I was talking with my co-founder like just 1 month ago, and he wanted to do the simpler testing platform in Mongolia, but only for the like a side hustle. But I saw it as a like it can become the like doing a different kind of test. We can actually accumulate data, and it became the mode for the platform. So we can become the benchmark of the platform. So in terms of like giving back to Mongolia, I really want to like go back to Mongolia and building the pilot project, and then maybe we can start from the different regions of the Mongolia, and then it became like useful for giving back to Mongolia. As both of us actually come from Mongolia, so we never knew that the harsh weather of Mongolia can be useful for any businesses. So
cool. Ogi, this is the first time I've seen you pitch.
Yeah, it's actually my first time.
so really, really interesting stuff, man. I can sense that this means a lot to you, based on, obviously it's for your country and everything. And I think that your slides and everything, storytelling-wise, are there. It's missing some key elements, like for example, the market size, right? The vision. What do you want the world to look like? Those things could be, really add a lot of value here. I would have the hook you started with didn't land as much, right? Because anyone know what perovskite, like solar cells are? No, but we all know what solar cells are. Yeah. Not just perovskite, but solar cells. So you can maybe talk about maybe some of the environmental issues in Mongolia. Give a little story about that, or talk about the severe weather that's there. And that will kind of lead into the problem you're solving, right? So everyone agrees solar power is a good thing, yes? But did you know that at minus 29 degrees, they break down or they become very fragile? Well, we're trying to solve that problem. And then that kind of gets into your solution a bit better. But overall, yeah, this is a good first run, man. So,
Thank you
you
very
know, I
much.
think that you have good stage presence, and the slides are easy to follow, so well done. Yes,
Thank
so
you.
much. Yes. All right, excellent, man. Last but certainly not least, my good friend Matt Prang will be coming up here. Excellent, thank you. Give her a round of applause, guys.
Do you have any fans of motorsports in this room?
Woo!
Woo! Make some noise, please. Help
Yes.
me. I'm very nervous. Thank you so much. Okay. I have two stories for you today. 2009, a team called Braun GP shows up to the first race of the Formula One season. No sponsor, no budget, a car that was nearly never built. They win World Championship. Not because they had more money or anything. It's because they found one ambiguity, one gray zone in the FIA's technical regulations that every other team had read and missed. 2021 to 2024. Red Bull Racing's rear wings flex at 300 km per hour, not enough to fail the FIA's test, not enough to be declared illegal, but enough to win 4 consecutive Constructors' Championships. The FIA tightened the test, Red Bull adapted, the gray zone moved, but it never closed. 4 seasons, 4 titles. This was not luck. Hi everyone, my name is Maprang. I'm the founder of Checkmate AI, and we have automated the thing that wins titles. Our product is called Gray Zone. It's an AI system that ingests 300 pages of dense technical language and surfaces the gray areas, the interpretive edges that teams have historically exploited to win championships. It's live today for Formula One FIA regulations. We are building Gray Zone for Super GT right now here in Japan. Super GT, Japan's premier racing series, and the architecture of this can actually scale to any series worldwide. So our long game, actually, regulatory structures in motorsport are nearly identical to aerospace, that's a fact. So this is actually our entry point into a much larger market. And here's how it works. We ingest the PDF regulations, parse them into a structured knowledge graph. The AI analyzes changes between regulations versions and surfaces gray areas across aerodynamics, materials, and designs. Engineers get competitive intelligence that they can actually act on, not legal summaries, but strategic edges. There's a demo on YouTube, and the link is on the screen. So for the market opportunity, the motorsport technology market is projected to exceed $10 billion, and our serviceable market, regulatory and analytic tools, is $1.2 billion. So our immediate target regulatory intelligence for Formula One, Super GT plus aerospace is a $15 million opportunity. So why now? Well, this year, 2026, is the biggest regulation overhaul in the decade. New engine rules, cost cap rising to 215 million. Every team on the grid has to reinterpret hundreds of pages of new regulations from scratch. And the FIA itself just deployed systems that cut their manual track limit reviews by 95%. The governing body is investing heavily in AI for operations. We are building AI for strategy. The market is 10 billion and growing 31% year on year in AI integration. And the number of competitors building regulatory intelligence for motorsport is actually 0. So we are creating the category. For the traction and milestones, right now we have some interest from people inside motorsport, including Formula One and Super GT. And on May 19, right here, less than a month from now, we are hosting Japan's first motorsport technology event. This is the first of a series building towards the Future of Speed Summit in 2027 during Formula One Japan Grand Prix week. We are part of AWS Accelerator, MongoDB for startups, Microsoft for startups, and we have been Delaware C Corp since 2023. Quick word on why I'm building this. So that's me with the editor-in-chief of Business Formula One magazine, head of McLaren Japan, former marketing manager at Nismo, that's Red Bull Racing headquarters in Milton Keynes and the F1 race suite in Mexico City. I build predictive maintenance algorithms at Airbus, in Toulouse software at Thomson Reuters, consulted at Accenture, computer science at the University of British Columbia. This industry runs on access and trust, and we have both. Our key advisor is Koji Obara, the fastest safety car driver in Formula One and Super GT, who will be speaking at our event on May 19th. So the ask, we are raising $750,000 pre-seed, save our convertible note. This gives us about 12 to 18 months to close our first enterprise customers. Thank you so much. At least I got to say the number.
Yay, good job, good job. Okay, excellent. Let's get some hands for questions, please.
Thanks for the presentation. It's really good. I'm happy to say something about F1.
Next slide, not the last slide.
Yeah, please, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So just to confirm the functionality, for example, the example you mentioned about Red Bull, it needed a genius mind like Angel Nui to get this. So are you proposing technical ideas that comes in a loophole, or are you checking the new ideas? Does it fall under the loopholes?
Actually, both. In order to provide value to this very competitive sports where hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake, it will not be enough for them to actually provide only like the loopholes that our AI system can detect. Because the fact about the regulations in the world of motorsport is that the regulation document has never been completely rewritten. Every time they have the updated regulation, it's just like an update version from the many previous versions prior to it. And another fact about the world of motorsport, not just Formula One, is that it's a kind of industry where people who start working on it, they tend to stay for 10, 15 years afterwards. So usually people in this industry, if they have worked already on so many races, so many seasons, they tend to actually have most of the regulations, including the loopholes, learned by heart. So it's not, to your question, it's not actually enough to just help them detect. We might also detect something that they have already known about. So what really matters to them here is not to be able to only detect, but also provide creative engineering design suggestions, something that hopefully they never thought about before. And also another ability that have been requested by some Formula One people is the chatbot ability, because I believe they want some kind of like a second opinion, companion brain kind of thing to help them think in those moments during the night where they believe that they have found new loopholes on the new regulations, and they want to make sure by going back and forth with the AI if their idea for the new design would actually work.
So I have a question. Obviously your customers are motorsport makers, but let's say I'm the FIA. Are you going to sell it to me? Because if you sell it to me, I'm going to iterate on the regulations so that there is no loophole anymore. And then you don't have the clients anymore, maybe. So how do you...
Not really. That is not my concern at all, and I already suspect that the FIA would have to do that. In that case, we can definitely build another solution that sells directly to the regulatory body to help them actually come up with a faster iteration for the new regulations that would close all the loopholes previously found in the current version. So that's one solution. And my concern really when it comes to selling solution to competitive sport like motorsport is the fact that realistically we would not be able to sell the same solution to all the available teams on the grid. Because if you are able to actually build the tool that helps any team in this world find the insights that every other highly talented engineers and aerodynamicists and designers in this world miss, well, they're gonna want to actually lock you in. They're gonna either want to come up with the kind of contract where it says you will not be able to provide the same solutions for other teams this season or something like that. Or if it's like a very rich team at the top of the motorsport racing categories like Formula One, all the top tier teams, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, something like that, they have a lot of money that might actually want to acquire Checkmate AI, which could be something very interesting for investors, for example, who are looking for a really, really quick exit strategy.
Thank you very much. I have one question. So you like to raise 750Ks, right?
Yeah.
And then you explain how you use it. So, but what do you aim to achieve with this 750Ks?
Mainly is the sales, because we are getting really, really close to earning our first revenue. That's the reason why we would like to raise money now. In terms of production of the software, that is not much of our concern. With the help of technology these days, the cost of production has become significantly lower. What's really important in this business is, I'm sure everyone knows, is the access to the paddock. It's the most challenging thing actually about this business is not so much on the technical side of things, but more about the distribution. So what we really need right now is the money to actually equip our teams with experts, better yet, people who have been on the other side of the paddock, people who have affiliated with Formula One somehow, could be Formula One itself, the FIA, or Formula One teams, and they will be able to actually leverage their connections to help us with the sales. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for the pitch. I think is great. I think you answer a lot of the questions that investor would want to know on the deck without having to ask questions. So that excellent. So you describe the problem. You have a team. Why you? Why now? You have a timeline. You have an ask. Yeah. So those are all great. One thing that might be missing is maybe risks. That's important. And also you mentioned traction, but I didn't understand what the traction is. Like what are you getting? What is it a pilot? Or are you getting paid for the? So that information wasn't there. But
yeah.
Overall, you have a lot of information that answers what investors will look for without having to ask questions.
Thank you so much.
All right, Maprang, really, really, obviously, interesting idea. I think this is a very unique product that you're zero competitors, no one's in there. That's very rare, and I think it's actually, in this case, one of the more plausible things, right? Motorsport is really hard to crack into. Usually when founders say, oh, there's no competitors, usually it's like, yeah, okay. But in this one, I think this is for sure. Because it's really hard to get in there, and that's why you're raising so much to get into those areas where your customers are going to be. So that's good. You did bring up something in the Q&A, and remember, guys, the pitch is just a teaser. Q&A is the most important thing. That I had a few questions of, we spoke about this before, is if you bring it up, you have to have an answer ready to go, and that's about the whole contract thing with other teams. Because when you said that, your market size shrank. And it's not clear from your pitch deck, how are you going to overcome that? Are you going to sell to every single other racing series and just do like on a yearly basis, like, and your product will switch between teams, or how does that work? I would love to see that problem solved on your slides. I think it would be easier for the investors to know, okay, we can still make money off this. It's great though you followed up with M&A potential deal, right? Like that's something that they want to see. They want to get their money back much quicker. So how much do you expect to get from that M&A deal? That could be good to include in there. I was saying our future speed slides. Do you guys see this?
Yes.
The next one?
I didn't talk about it because I'm not sure if you would be the one
No, it's okay.
telling
go
the
ahead.
audience. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, you all are invited. So it is part of our fundraising attempt. Not gonna lie about that, but hey, it's free, and it's gonna be happening right here next month, less than a month from now, Tuesday night. I hope you are all available. May the 19th, 6 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. Expected attendees, 110 people. They're going to be from Tokyo's tech, startups, and most importantly, motorsport community. I mentioned briefly earlier that this is Japan's first motorsports technology event, so it's going to be really exciting. I do have some speakers and some guests from like really, really big, reputable automotive / motorsport companies that I will not disclose for now because I really want you to come. Potentially, we might be able to set up also a sim racing machine right here. So since we have some motorsport fans in this room, I would assume naturally also that you might want to try sim racing. It's a really expensive machine that not everyone can afford to have inside of their home. So please come. It's free. It's actually my company's event, but we also co-hosted with Lee's company, Pulsar Innovations. And Lee and his love, his passion for motorsports, for JDM scenes too. He has a lot of knowledge around cars and racing, and he's been here in Japan for a while, so he will be a moderator for the event.
That's right, guys. Please come through. If founders out there who are looking for problems to solve, maybe you'll get some encouragement or some inspiration from this event, and it'll be cool to meet some people on the motorsport side. So feel free to come by. Thank you so much, my pride. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Awesome. All right, that is it, guys. Let's give the founders a round of applause, please. In fact, founders, can you come up here, please? Founders, we're going to get you guys for a quick photo, please. A quick photo with all the founders, please. Awesome. Please, please, please. Go, go, go. All right. Billy, can we get some photos? Oh, yes. Okay. Up here, guys. Yes? 3, 2, 1. Good, good, good. Good? Oh, right here. Okay. Jesse, yes. Jesse's. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Give them a round of applause again. Thank you so much for coming out and pitching today. They did a really, really great job. Pitching is super nerve-wracking. You get in front of people, you have, 100 eyes or more on you. It's really nerve-wracking, right? Well, I'm about to do something I haven't done at a Pitch and Connect before, and that is allow people to do an elevator pitch. If anyone, only people in the audience, you can get 1 minute to come up here and experience what these guys just did just now. If you have an elevator pitch for a startup idea with a clear ask, us will listen to you and give you some quick feedback. I see somebody already has his hand up to volunteer. Please come on up. Come on up. Give him a round of applause. Take him 1 minute, okay? 1 minute. We'll tell you when to start, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1 minute, okay? 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, thank you so much for coming here, and this is my first time here, so I don't know what to say. I don't have any pitch ready, but the thing is I'm solving the biggest problem, let's say one of the biggest problem in Japan. I have a question, all of you guys, for example, have you seen a waiting line in front of the restaurant? For example, you go to the restaurant in the ramen shop or inside the mall, and you find out that restaurant is very famous, but there's a problem. Many of the customers have to be wait in the line, and they have to be wait at least 30 minutes or 1 hour more than. And sometimes in the restaurant they give you the ticket, but you still have to be wait on the same line. So I already have the MVP ready. So here's my idea. You take the QR code and you find out how many people you actually tell to the staff owner how many people inside one group, and you can also select the menu too. And then you go wherever you go in during that time. So basically you have a smartphone, you can see that how many people are ahead of you.
All right, time's up,
Yep.
time's up. Thank you so much, thank you. All right, any quick feedback at all? I can give you feedback, it's okay. Anything at all? You want to hear? No? Okay, at the beginning with the elevator pitch, please don't say you don't have anything prepared. That confuses the hell out of us, all right? I would have loved to have heard of hook. For example, how many people here have been to a restaurant where there's a long line out the front, looked on Google and found it was a famous place and got disappointed? Raise your hand, right? Like that, right away, within 15 seconds, you understand that they know the problem, okay? Because that's a very relatable one. It's very good. A solution should get into it maybe 20 seconds in. And then also, the last thing I would say is talk about the business model. How are you going to make money, right? If you get Ching, like for example, in an elevator, right, and you're actually pitching him, he needs to know how he's going to make money, right? And what the model's going to be like, and get him excited about that within that 1 minute. But good job, man, really, really. It's very brave to do that, right? Brave, great job, man, thank you so much. Anyone else, anyone else? Okay, we'll do up to 5 people, up to 5, okay? All right, ready? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, all right. Okay, ready, 1 minute?
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone, my name is Prashant Pitti. I'm one of the founders of a company in India. In the last 2 years, once I turned 35, I did some experiment on myself. See, life changes post 35. You know, the energy starts depleting, weight starts gaining, brain fogs, and you know, you just feel tired most of the time. So by reading RCTs are randomized controlled test, reading multiples and multiples of RCTs, I procured 32 herb extracts from across the world. And I've been consuming those 32 herb extracts for the last 2.5 years, and all my biomarkers have changed dramatically. I've been measuring my biomarkers for the last 2 years, once in every 3 months. My testosterone, which was 120, is at 860 right now. My CRP, which is at 6.7, which was at 6.7, is at 0.2 right now. And I'm thinking of launching this as a product called as Protocol 35.
Time's up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anything, guys, at all or no? All right. So
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it was good description of the problem. It just you didn't get to finish.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing I would say just really quickly is why does it matter to us, right? How does that matter to the person you're pitching to? We talked a lot about, for example, the benefits that you had, but then what problem are you solving? Is it a problem for yourself or a problem for all men at this age group, right?
After 35.
Yes, exactly, right? So we want to be able to really understand the problem first and then the solution and like get us excited about how much or what the solution is going to be. But yeah, good stuff, man. Again, thank you so much. Yep. All right, one more. Okay, come on up. Last one, guys, last one, then we'll do open networking. Last one. You have 1 minute. 1 minute.
Everybody?
3, 2, 1.
All right. So how many of you have actually applied for a job? Yes, okay, there are very few people, okay. How many of people actually hired somebody for a job? Okay, those are a lot of people. So this product is about screening, right? It's about having the fastest solution on the market for getting from hiring to hired, right? And the way you do that is by saving time for those who are hiring and for those who are applying. And that's what HireUp is all about. Yeah. Thank you so much. And the ask is $1 million. We have tractions from several pharmaceutical companies as well as some enterprise companies I can't really disclose right now. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you all.
Okay. All right, anything else? $1 million.
I just didn't understand what the solution is. I understand the problem, but...
It's a screening automation tool. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So anyways, hello, Ryan. Hi. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I would try to make sure that we understand what your solution is, why is it different from the other competitors, the other screening tools out there, to get us excited about it a bit more. The problem is clear, but then how are you specifically going to solve? What's your moat? That's all. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Good job. All right, guys, elevator pitch. It's something that is very, very important for people when you're in an elevator or you're in a networking event to be able to clearly articulate your idea and your solution within just a few minutes. So maybe this is something I'll continue at these events. That was pretty interesting. Thank you guys for volunteering. Appreciate you very much. All right, did you guys see the email? Anyone have Sushi Tech tickets yet? If you want to go, 80% off. Please take a picture of this. You can share it with people. This is something for you if you'd like to go. I think it's 20,000 now, so you get 80% off, right? So that's a pretty good discount. So feel free to go there. There we are, official ambassador. Now, how many people here are building a startup? Just raise your hand, okay? How many people have a pitch coming up? Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay, one guy, that's it, 2. Okay, yes, all the founders here? Yes, okay, good, excellent. So when you get up and pitch, there's many aspects that go into it. It's obviously the content, right? It's very important. But you also need to learn about design. We talked about visual storytelling. All of us are visual creatures. We connect with visual images, right? And then also delivery. How do you get up and sound confident? Some of you guys sounded more confident than others. Some of them were a bit nervous. But that's what we're trying to solve here. So with me and two other coaches, we are doing a pitch sprint. So we're going to work with you on completely overhauling your content, your design, and delivery in just 6 weeks. So if you're interested about this, we'd be, the three of us would work with you together on a complete pitch overhaul so that you're investor ready in just 6 weeks. And yeah, it basically, I'll be helping you on the delivery. Melise will help you on your design. She's a graphic designer. And then Sofian, he's helped founders raise $2 million worth of investment over the past 2 years. He'll be working with you on the content. So yes, in 6 weeks, we believe we can give you a fully developed pitch that will help you raise money. If not, if you just want to practice, join the Pitch Dojo. All right? I am a part-time samurai, okay? And I will get you in the dojo, and then we will practice about your delivery skills. In June, I'm going to be running this cohort. So if you guys are interested, it's an online cohort where you'll be able to pitch, get feedback, and be amongst other founders who are doing the same. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me there. And then, yes, the ventures. Founders here, I've seen many of you have applied already to the ventures. If anyone over here would like to apply, Ching will actually be one of the judges there as well. This is, we're accepting applications until May 1st, and then May 15th will be the event. The top 10 ones that go to that get selected will be able to pitch in front of investors. If you get selected or win that event, you'll be added to the global startup investment pool. So good opportunity if we have Japanese startups who want to go global. Also, Japanese founders here, you can pitch in Japanese. Your deck just needs to be in English, okay? So feel free to apply, all right? And then yes, we do lots of events at Pulsar Innovations. We're actually running memberships. So we have free and paid events. We're running this now to help build a community so that you guys can have more access to these events. For example, we just partnered with the city of Minato, where they have a beautiful, beautiful venue there. It's overlooking like Minato-ku, the Tokyo Tower, those type things. So yeah, we're looking to build that out and bring you more content, for example, negotiation workshops, presentation workshops, those type things to really help you feel more confident to go global. So yeah, if you guys are interested, please ask me about this here. And then yes, save the date, May 28th. Okay, that's going to be the next event, the Pitch and Connect event. Not sure if it'll be online yet, still searching for a venue. But yes, it'll be May 28th. All right? And then yes, can we get a group photo, guys, please? Group photo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Please, 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 let's all come to the front if we can. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And then we'll get into open networking. Feel free if you guys would like, please come to the front. That would be awesome. Yes.